Okay, hold on. Testing. Okay, hold on. Testing. Okay, now it's working. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Now I fixed it. Yeah, so basically, I think Windows kind of fucked up OBS settings a little bit, but what I had to do yesterday, the other night, was basically, because I fucking got a Windows 11 Pro license key. I got Windows 11 Pro license key. Let me make sure. Fuck, where is it? Where is it? Where the fuck is everything? Oh, I see. I see what I messed up on. Oh, and this was supposed to go over here. And that was supposed to. Yeah, yeah. Red. I have my automa set to like block out swear words. Yeah, unless you're mod, then oh, now I think about. Now I think about. There we go. Now you have mod privileges. Now you're my mod, as you should be. Anywho, but yeah, what I had to do basically for Windows when I upgraded to Windows 11 Pro, guess what? Guess what I found out? It overwrote essential files for launching settings and essential files for PowerShell entirely. For PowerShell entirely, it crippled PowerShell, plus it crippled the
Here's a good cow.
I am. Here. Fuck. Thank you. Thank you for that, Aaron. As I was saying, you know what, I had to use I found out with the Windows, unfortunately, I had to be in Windows in order to use its own repair tool. But yeah, I had to use a repair tool for Windows to basically rebuild settings in PowerShell. So now, and essentially a few other things that Windows messed up when it was upgrading stuff. So yeah, now everything's fixed. Yeah, that's about the story I have. Anywho, uh, yeah. Anywho, we're gonna be continuing on with our. Here we go. Our stream with our art challenge. Okay, it's good now. Yeah, we're gonna continue on with our art challenge. Anywho, see, I was watching this about millennial parents struggling to afford childcare. What the fuck is okay? Now what's going on with the man's properties? Properties default. Okay, now it should.
For this
parental digital emotion regulation. Translation: when we use a screen to fix our child's mood for them, we rob them of the opportunity for them to learn how to fix it themselves. And it doesn't stop there. A massive 2025 meta-analysis of 117 studies and nearly 300,000 children found that higher screen time was consistently linked to more emotional and behavioral issues, especially in kids who are already struggling with anxiety, sadness, or low confidence. And it's not just a cause and effect situation, it is a cycle. Kids who are emotionally struggling use screens more, and then those screens that make it even harder for them to build emotional strength.
Your iPad kid freaks out when you take away their iPad because that's their only tool of emotional regulation. Every time that your child has had any big emotions their entire life, you just shove them in front of an iPad. If they've been bored at the store, if they've been bored in the car, if they've just been living life in general, you just shove them in front of a fucking iPad. But then you think, oh, well, you're being bad, so I'm going to take the iPad away. But the iPad was the tool of emotional regulation. The iPad was the tool of, okay, I'm upset, I'm going to go on the iPad. Okay, I'm extremely happy, I'm going to go on the iPad. And now we're taking the iPad away, and then the kid can't process why the iPad is being taken away because the kid doesn't know exactly what the iPad means to them because the kid is a kid. And the kid can't process, oh, I use this iPad as a coping mechanism. You didn't give your kid any coping mechanisms to deal with their emotions, and then you took away the only coping mechanism that you gave them as a punishment.
So what some parents thought was a calm, gentle moment, here, sweetie, take this and relax, really was just a missed opportunity, a moment where the child could have learned, I can feel big feelings and then still be okay. But instead they learned, when I feel bad, I escape. If we want our kids to be emotionally strong, we can't give them a button that allows them to skip over the hard parts. It kind of reminds me of the Adam Sandler movie Click. Have you seen that? If not, he has this magical remote control that essentially allows him to skip over whatever parts of life he doesn't really want to live. So he ends up fast forwarding through boring, frustrating, annoying parts of his life, and then he realizes the struggle is the story, but the remote starts just fast forwarding everything and has taken over his life. Anyways, I love a good Adam Sandler movie. I do feel like an entire generation was given these click remotes through a screen, because we all know you can spend 2 hours on an iPad or an iPhone scrolling and it feels like 2 minutes. I am in the middle of reading The Anxious Generation. Little ASMR going. Okay, back to being serious.
ASMR, let's
How
go.
the great rewiring of childhood is causing an epidemic of mental illness. So far, it is so good. One of the things he mentions in this book is one of the best pieces of parenting advice he got when his kids were young was to actually find ways to make your kids frustrated or struggle. For example, your sister got something you didn't. All right, that happens sometimes. Just let them live and work through and get over that emotion. Or we all know chores are very important. Maybe they don't fully know how to do a chore or a task. Well, I guess you need more practice. Get it done anyways. Maybe give them guidance, but really try to get them to figure it out on their own. And in doing so, they will struggle, but if they keep at it long enough, because you make them keep at it long enough, they will figure it out and then prove to themselves that they could do it all along. But a lot of Gen Alpha is living in a world.
You know, I kind of wish that I can't keep it calm, Mom. This gotta be enough. Fuck it. That birther would actually like just let me learn on my own instead of just beating the ever living shit out of me if I get it wrong. So yeah, there's that.
Where they're allowed to skip a lot of that. And beyond skipping over the struggles, everyone is sucked into solo screens that are having them miss human connection altogether.
We are a family of 6 and we are raising a bunch of iPad kids. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you all of our electronic devices
They're
in
fucking
our
flexing
house
it
to make you feel a little bit better about yours. My 2-year-old's iPad, my 5-year-old's iPad and his AAC, my 7-year-old's iPad, my 10-year-old's iPad and his iPhone, my iPad, my iPhone, and my Switch, and my watch, and my MacBook, my husband's iPad, my husband's iPhone, and his watch, Each of the
Jesus
two older boys
Christ.
have a PS5. My husband has an Xbox Series X and a PC. The only time we limit screen time is Monday through Thursday.
Growing up as 90s kids, we all had TVs, right? I've heard many people defend iPad screen time with, well, we had TVs and we watched a ton of that too. And they're not wrong. I definitely had my weekends of cartoon and movie marathons. Every day after school in middle school, I'd come home and at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'd be watching The Maury Show with my 2 bags of popcorn, drinking Mountain Dew. But here's the difference. First, we didn't have endless, unfiltered options. I didn't watch The Maury Show after school because I just loved the show so much. Although I did really like The Maury Show, but it was the only thing on that was mildly engaging. Beyond that though, the other difference is most of us had to share screens. In my household for the longest time, my parents had a TV that was meant for them in their room, and then there was one TV in the living room that my brothers and I had to share. If we wanted to watch something, we had to agree, or at least try to. Whose turn is it? Fine, we'll watch your movie, but I get to pick the next one. Ugh, I don't even like this one, but okay, it's your turn. It was inconvenient, but it was real life practice in compromise. Practice in boredom tolerance, practice in empathy when you had to sit through a show that you definitely didn't want to watch, but your sibling really wanted to and likes it. But really, most importantly, in my opinion, is it was practice in shared joy. We watched these shows together. We laughed at the same scenes. We quoted the same lines. I can still remember watching Home Alone over and over again with my brothers, and specifically rewatching the parts where Kevin is sadistically terrorizing these burglars and laughing our asses off. And then we would go to dinner and talk about the scenes we had just watched 100 times there. And because those are shared joy moments with my siblings, they're core memories now for me that I will never forget. Here, love you, Tom and Lee.
We all love core
Now, with
memories.
every kid having their own
sometimes.
solo screens, their own shows, their own perfectly curated, addictive algorithm, giving them infinite options on road trips, at restaurants, even at home, now 3 siblings can live in 3 completely different worlds. And they don't have to compromise and they don't have to share. And in that shift from a community screen to a solo screen, yes, TV is not perfect, but I feel like we've lost even another opportunity to teach turn-taking, patience, and learn self-regulation and empathy, and just connection.
He's a good
Even when you
cow.
thought about what to watch with your siblings, you were at least learning conflict resolution. But now there's no conflict.
You're
just
gonna abuse
whatever
that,
the child
aren't
wants,
you, Red?
whenever they want. No negotiations necessary. But the real
I
world
love
doesn't
you.
work like that. Relationships don't work that way. If we remove all
no.
friction from childhood through a screen, we remove a lot of growth and they won't know how to operate in the real world. Common Sense Media and Pew Research have both reported major drops in face-to-face interaction and shared family screen time, even as total screen time goes up. And they're seeing that the longer everyone lives in their own curated content bubbles, the harder real-world dynamics start to feel. I recently heard someone say kids nowadays are more likely to be alone together, physically near each other, but in completely different worlds through their screens. Screens are not just changing what kids watch, which that's its own deep dive in itself, but it's changing how they experience childhood. Truly, the thing that triggered me into starting to look into this is when I drive my kids to school, it's roughly a 15-minute drive. They go to a new school now, it's a bit further away, but we pass 3 middle school bus stops on the way there. And at each one of these bus stops, there's about 6 to 10 middle schoolers waiting at the stop for their bus to arrive. And at every single one of these stops, all of the middle schoolers, typically except for one, are just there scrolling on their cell phones. All of the middle schoolers, typically except to arrive, and at every single one of these stops, all of the middle schoolers, typically except for one, are just there scrolling on their cell phones, like not talking to the other kids. It's just a group of kids, all the same age, same school, everything, not talking to each other, not engaging with each other.
Here's the thing. Back in my grade years. We didn't have like actually use our phones out, and if we did, we didn't really use our phones actively. What we did was pretty much like, for me, we played street rugby, and then that's how we passed the time by playing street rugby and waiting for the bus to arrive. But those were core memory. Those core memory for me.
Other, just scrolling on their solos, not talking to each other, not engaging with each crazy looking when I drive by it, alone together. And clearly the one kid who's not on their screen has the parent who doesn't allow them to have a cell phone. It's just sad to me that the other kids can't even, and I'm not blaming the kids, it's not the kids' fault, they're just kids, but they can't even take themselves off of their screen to talk to the person who doesn't have a screen. If childhood is the training ground for adulthood, what kind of adults are we accidentally training through so much screen time?
Get your children off their phone before their brains forget how to feel joy. Because here's the scary truth. Dopamine, which is a feel-good chemical, is released every time your child scrolls, every time they get a like, or they watch a short video.
Yeah.
And overstimulation leads to dopamine desensitization, which means their brain needs more and more to feel less and less. There was a 2022 study from the University of Vermont that found that heavy screen users had significantly reduced dopamine receptor activity, especially in the reward processing areas. The translation of that is that your child's phone is literally rewiring their brain to feel numb to everyday life. So don't let this thing steal your kid's childhood. It's not only killing their time, but it's also killing their joy.
Look, I am not anti-tech,
as well.
Obviously. I'm sitting here talking to you on YouTube. I don't think all screens are evil. Technology is part of the world now. Our kids are gonna use it. Heck, most schools give kids an iPad to do their work on now. We as parents are responsible for helping our kids be responsible with screens. So I am for...
Hey, Gen Z in Zoomers and reasonable younger Gen Z. If we can, as soon as we, God forbid we have a try at all, as soon as we send our kids to school, if we see that they have a school tablet, let's all rile up and complain. So they're forced to give laptops and mandated,
screen literacy and digital skills and extreme boundaries around all of that.
I need everybody else in my generation to promise that we are not going to raise iPad children. Please. I just saw a TikTok from some millennial, and she was like, here's a message to Gen Z. You might make fun of us, but watch out. We're raising the next generation, and they're going to eat you up. Your kids can't read, okay? You're raising Gen Alpha. They're bizarre and terribly behaved. Y'all bred iPad children. You've been shoving media and screens in these kids' faces since birth. They probably have no imagination because their brain hasn't actually been forced to come up with any original thought. Gen Z, please, when we are older, don't give your kids iPads at the dinner table. We have to right a wrong, guys. We have to make our kids normal, please.
100%.
So let's talk about what kids aren't getting enough of in this day and age. Real face-to-face play, space for big emotions and allowing them to work through it, tasks that require waiting, patience, grit, and delayed gratification, and opportunities for boredom. Screens seem to have replaced boredom, but boredom was never the enemy. Truly, boredom is a privilege. If you think about once upon a time, we were too busy trying to not die to even be worried about being bored. Boredom is the wide open space where kids can experiment, tinker, invent, problem solve, daydream, try weird things just for fun. If you're also a 90s kid, leave a comment of a core memory you have that an iPad kid probably
I'm a century
didn't
baby.
have nowadays. I remember just spinning in circles endlessly in the front yard in summer and then laying in the grass and watching the clouds go by. This summer I went on a 14-hour road trip with my boys and made a car packing video talking about about how we were doing no screens on the way up. My boys were just gonna color, snack, look out the window. And the way that video blew up on YouTube Shorts, because there were so many children leaving comments on that video being like, "L mom, so glad you're not my mom. Take this video down. My mom has a YouTube." Honestly, don't know why any of these children had a YouTube account. I specifically mark my videos as not made for kids, but the video did decent simply because all these kids on adult accounts were blowing up the video because they hated my message of reducing screen time so much, which honestly made me feel even better about doing it. Bringing it back to the anxious generation, through all his research and findings, he has full reason to believe that well-intentioned parents are overprotecting in the real world and then underprotecting in the virtual world. I mean, honestly, just talking about my video that just blew up because so many kids were commenting on the video. My content isn't even like that crazy. Think of all the way crazier content that is labeled as not made for kids that these kids have the opportunity to see.
I gave him an iPad when he was 5 that had YouTube on it because I didn't know.
Because you didn't know.
And then I knew quickly that that was a mistake. And it's, oh, okay, let's take YouTube off. And we'll put the one that's called YouTube Kids because it says kids. And at the time, the CEO of YouTube...
Once it's... Yeah, I understand that. I really don't have that opportunity since I don't really have much to do in the first place. So pretty much digital art is one of the things I like to do. It has a screen, yes. So. Alright. Seeing what I can clean up here.
Was a grandma, like literally a grandmother. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, sure, YouTube Kids. Dude, he found nightmare stuff. He found superheroes having sex with each other. Like not kids. Took off the YouTube Kids. Man, long story short, we had to take the whole iPad away. The entire device was just addicting him. It was affecting his sleep patterns. It was affecting how much he wanted to go outside. He just wanted to be in that screen.
Bringing it back to the anxious generation, he actually has 4 key recommendations to help our kids and communities as a generation. He actually has...
Okay, let's see here. No smartphones before high school. I get that to an extent, yes. So the odd thing about the school district I went to, we pretty much had 3 buildings. 4 buildings actually. No, 5. So we had the pre-K to the 2nd grade for that building. I don't forget the name. I forget what the name it is. What the nickname is for the building, but for elementary school, it's gonna is 3rd through 4th. Middle school is 5th through 7th. Junior high was 8 and 9, and high school is 10 through 12. Here's the thing, I understand that, and pretty much that's a good idea for your parents to give you flip phone as your first phone. But like, what I got for like my first phone was actually my mom handed me down her old phone so she can upgrade to get an upgrade to it for a new one. So I think she got an iPhone 6 before, and then she gave me her iPhone 5. Yeah, Bertha gave me her iPhone 5. And so yeah, iPhone 5 was pretty much the first one I had. Didn't really do much on it, just like YouTube, stuff like that. And I think it was, yeah, we had, and then parents pretty much got the entire family all iPhone 7s. I looked at the iPhone 7 like, yeah, I'm gonna switch to Android when I get the chance, basically. Basically,
Here's
yeah.
a good girl.
I am. Mm, come, babe, come on. Jesus Christ. Phone-free schools, no social media before 16. Uh, yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's pretty good. I say no social media before 16. However, this is a stretch for me. The only social media allowed is Discord. And even then, heavily monitor which servers they're joining and whatnot. Yeah, phone-free schools and schools elementary school, high school should store your phones and smart watches. Yeah, that's what my school did. So we had to store our phones like in these pockets, and like, okay, fine, whatever. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I thought in my head. If it, I mean, don't turn out well. So basically, what if a hospital had to call their kid about their parent, about like their sibling or parent being in hospital or whatnot? I don't know, parents are supposed to like call the office. And yeah, I guess there's a workaround on it. But if the hospital is calling, they're not gonna give the school information. Yeah, that's pretty good. And let's see here. Fourth one is on far more unsupervised child independent. That child is naturally developed skills or anxiety, self-governing. Here's the thing that my parents were really effective. So basically, they're a combination of helicopter and tiger parents. Also, like disgustingly abusive, but like that's a whole other story. But yeah, uh, yeah, basically, basically, I was neglected by the biggest form of neglect for me was being sheltered. But yeah, other than that, they did other stuff. But yeah, yeah, I was heavily sheltered as a kid. Stranger danger, I get stranger danger and stuff like that, but like at some point, you gotta ask yourself, are you actually pretending you're harming them? Based on how it turned out, still struggling with independence, let alone this economy. But yeah, yeah. There's even excessive amount of children back
There's a
in
good
the.
girl.
I am. There's an excessive amount of sheltering back in the 2000s. Yeah, it is the only difference now is it's being filmed. It was already bad. It's worse and being filmed.
Has 4 key recommendations to help our kids and communities as a whole heal from screens. As I said before, I'm not 100% done with this book yet. He briefly outlined these 4 things in the beginning though, so I will read that. Because honestly, I'm personally already on board with it, being 50% through this book. It's like shocking. Number 1, no smartphones before high school. Parents should delay children's entry into round-the-clock internet access by giving only basic phones. Phones with limited apps and no internet browser before 9th grade, roughly age 14. No social media before 16. Let kids get through the most vulnerable period of brain development before connecting them to a fire hose of social comparison and algorithmically chosen influencers. 3, phone-free schools. In all schools from elementary through high school, students should store their phones, smartwatches, and any other personal devices that can send or receive text in phone lockers or locked pouches during the school day. 4, far more unsupervised play and childhood independence. That's the way children naturally develop social skills, overcome anxiety, and become self-governing young adults. Comment your thoughts on all of this below. Again, I really want to start conversations on this. Ultimately, beyond kids, I think a lot of us, myself included, have to evaluate.
I pretty much agree with that. Let's see. Uh, okay. There we go.
Well, guys, it
There you go.
seems like YouTube has actually had enough. They actually just used an official YouTube account to call
Here's a
someone out
good
for
girl.
lying and creating a fake story
I am.
for clicks. I'm sure you guys have heard of Dexerto before. They cover Twitter news about influencer and streamer stuff. So basically they made a tweet where they said that YouTube banned a creator for putting a business email address in a video description. Their moderation tools flagged it for, quote, directing users to another site. As 2025 draws to a close, creators have repeatedly warned that AI-driven moderation enforcement is spiraling out of control across the platform. That's very true. In the last quarter of this year, the uproar against
That's
YouTube has
super
been
true.
really strong on both YouTube and Twitter for their bad AI moderation and their lack of listening to their community. However, YouTube, from an official account, from their updates from YouTube account, actually replied to this and said, this is a false story designed to stoke fear for clicks. Dexerto didn't reach out to verify this before posting, so here are the facts. This channel was terminated correctly for violations that had nothing to do with their business email. The vast majority of content moderation decisions we reviewed on X have been correct. When we make a mistake, we own it and work hard to fix it. So just a
No,
few
they
things
don't.
here, right? Number one, it's kind of weird that these guys tweeted this from the updates from YouTube account. I don't really think this is an update. I thought that this would be more of a team YouTube type of reply, but also I don't remember the last time YouTube has used an official account to directly call someone out like this. Now, in this case, they called out Dexerto, and they also kind of indirectly implied that the creator themselves are lying as well. And another thing, right? They said that this channel was terminated correctly for violations that had nothing to do with their business email. Okay, so tell us what they did wrong then. You didn't actually explain what they did wrong. And as I will show you from the actual creator themselves, YouTube didn't give them a clear explanation either. Now, if you look at how Team YouTube usually tweets, and obviously it's a different Twitter account, they usually tweet in a very happy-go-lucky way where they seem like they're happy to help everybody out. They use a lot of exclamation points. A lot of people have speculated that these replies are AI. They have vehemently denied this to me, both in the DMs and also publicly on their Twitter. But as you can see,
Yeah.
when they reply to people, it seems like they're trying to stay professional. They usually leave a link to some sort of Google Help article. And for the most part, they're pretty cordial. It's not like they call anyone out or anything like that, right? Well, when we look at this tweet from this account, it actually looks like this was written by a real human. As you can see, the formatting is completely different, and they actually came out a little bit aggressive out of the gate, not saying like, oh, you have a misunderstanding here, Dexerto, you should have reached out. It's like, no, this is a fake story, and you guys designed this on purpose to create fear and fearmonger in the community. Now, they did get community noted where it said, this is not a false story. The affected user has called this post out for its denial and posted proof that the story is true, which YouTube has ignored. Now, the creator themselves is a guy named Raheem Khan, who basically replied and said, false story? First of all, you are accusing Dexerto. Second, image I attached is proof it's completely related to redirecting users, which I never did. Your AI is mistaking my email. Third, your staff trolled me 2 times in DMs stating that I am reinstated. If I am lying, prove it or fix it. So let's go read the email that he provided. So in the email, it seems like he was reached out to by an employee on December 16th named Rome, stating, hey, thanks for reaching out. Getting the YouTube channel taken down can be quite concerning. Any creator in the situation would feel the same way. We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our community guidelines. Because of this, we will keep your channel removed from YouTube. We know this is upsetting, but it's our job to keep YouTube safe, blah, blah, blah. So basically what they say, content that contains spam, scams, or other deceptive practices that seek to exploit the community are not allowed on YouTube. This includes titles, thumbnails, or descriptions that promise users something in the video, but actually direct them to another site. I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news because I feel this may not be what you were hoping for. I want to assure you that I did the best that I could, so this is just a little wish for you to have some light in your day. Don't think he's gonna have light in his day when his channel possibly just got falsely banned, but I guess thanks for the sentiment. So now let's talk about the validity of this ban and whether we should take YouTube's word for it, right? Just a few things that have happened in 2025. A tech YouTuber named Enderman, who I have talked to before, said multiple channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers were wiped out overnight. There's another channel named Jukes that had a video restricted because YouTube flagged his laugh as graphic content. There was one where YouTube's AI shut down a live stream for mistaking a microphone for a firearm. There was a while where my channel itself was completely just documenting YouTube giving out false bans, age restrictions, copyright strikes, demonetizations, and everything, including one of the more egregious cases I saw where YouTube banned a YouTuber named BankSnap for knocking over her microphone in a video and calling it child endangerment. Her channel was banned for 4 months, and also BankSnap has given me permission to talk about this, but she has reached out to me again recently stating that another one of her videos has been restricted because she once again knocked over her microphone in the video. That's more her story to tell though, so I'll let her provide the details if she wants to. But I say all that to say that obviously we're all going to be more inclined to take a YouTuber's word over it than YouTube themselves, because they are obviously always falsely banning YouTubers off the platform. I don't doubt that the vast majority of content moderation decisions they've made in general, like across YouTube, were correct, because there is a lot of spam and hacking channels on YouTube, cryptocurrency scam channels and stuff. So I'm sure YouTube is deleting hundreds of thousands of those. But they claim that a lot of people who want their channels reinstated on Twitter, I like how they call it X, no one's going to call it X, it's Twitter. A lot of those that I've looked at actually seem like they provided a lot of proof. And there are other channels and creators like 𝙂𝙚𝙣𝙚 who literally went through a legal route to try to get his channel back, and YouTube still has not reinstated him. So yeah, that is the first image that Raheem had provided, but he also provided this Team YouTube DM that he had gotten, where Team YouTube said, "Hi, just got an update this morning and do have good news. Your channel has been reinstated. Note that it can take 24 to 48 hours for all your videos content to be back on your channel. Sorry for the back and forth on this, and thanks again for your patience while we had the team re-review everything again." So according to Raheem, he had already been banned and reinstated before.
Here's a good
This conversation happened last month around November 11th, and he even stated that YouTube staff trolled him 2 times in the DMs that he is reinstated. If he's lying, prove it or fix it, right? So Team YouTube did actually DM him, and I know this DM is real, by the way, because he actually sent me a screenshot of this way before this updates from YouTube made this tweet. So unless YouTube is talking about a different channel of this guy's that was banned and reinstated, it seems like Raheem is telling the truth. And like you said, if he is lying, why doesn't Team YouTube just prove it? Why don't they just actually reply and prove him wrong? Because again, if you go look at their original tweet, they say this channel was terminated correctly for violations that had nothing to do with their business email, but they didn't actually say how. But as we've talked about many times on this channel before, the actual spam, deceptive practices, and scams reason for getting channels banned dwarfs the other reasons combined. It's like 93% in the months of July and September of this year. And like I said earlier in my video, and I've been consistent with this in all the videos I've made, I'm sure the majority of those are correct in the sense that there are so many cryptocurrency hacker scam channels out there, and channels that are trying to get you to download some dangerous software. However, there's a lot of YouTubers that get caught in the crossfire with this, and we have proven on our channel that there have been so many channels out there that have been falsely banned for laughing, for knocking over a microphone, for holding something that they thought was a firearm, things like that. I mean, shit, me. I mean, how many times have I gotten falsely wrecked by YouTube in terms of false age restrictions, strikes, bans, demonetizations? It's all on my channel. I've already proved it all. Even before YouTube's recent ban wave this year, I had gotten banned falsely by YouTube 3 years ago, where they said that a hacker controlled my channel and uploaded 4 videos without my consent. All 4 videos were uploaded by me, so YouTube implied that I hacked my own channel. It's a story that I've told many times before, but, you know, getting back on topic, yeah. Updates from YouTube did actually call out 𝙂𝙚𝙣𝙚 for this. They said that this was a false story designed to stoke fear for clicks, but they didn't actually provide any proof of what this creator actually did wrong, and they didn't actually try to show how the creator or 𝙂𝙚𝙣𝙚 themselves were lying. Now again, YouTube could be right? They could be actually correct with what they're saying, but if they don't actually provide us any proof, then we just have to go based off of past experiences, what has happened in the past. And what has happened in the past is they falsely ban people all the time. It's happened to me, it's happened to tens of thousands of other creators, and the only time they get reinstated is when they make noise on Twitter. It's happened to me, it's happened to all these other people. If YouTube's review system was so good, how can they review a piece of content 3 times over? And the first 2 times, it's always our content being in violation of their community guidelines. But then the 3rd time, when we actually get a bunch of noise on Twitter, then all of a sudden they have this epiphany that our content was actually correct. It is something that I've seen on YouTube happening for years. So yeah, like I said, YouTube could be telling the truth,
issue with
they could be
YouTube
wrong,
in general.
but they don't actually ever provide any proof, so we never know. And based on
Google's always trying to save face. Well, Google's not trying to save face because they're advocating AI. YouTube's trying to save face, but they're also advocating for AI.
Boy, howdy.
Here's a good girl.
Hiya. Oh. Babe.
I can't believe it. The title is not clickbait. This is big. Color me blue and call me a smurf. I'm looking real stupid right now because I've been quite the Scrooge bah humbugging, saying that it'll never happen. They'll never release the Epstein files. And look what happens.
random Friday evening, they dropped these puppies. Oh, you know, the same Epstein files that the government also tried to say aren't real are actually a huge hoax and you're an idiot if you believe in them. They're like the Tooth Fairy or something, no such thing. Oh, well, here's those Epstein files that we said not long ago weren't real, by the way. Finally, all of the information on all of these evil pedophiles right here at our fingertips. We get one sentence and then pretty much everything else redacted. And this isn't some isolated incident where I'm cherry picking shit. The bulk of these files are heavily redacted and heavily doesn't even do it justice. It's so beyond that. Like, it is redacted to a comical degree where it would be laughable if it wasn't just so blatantly evil. Like, look at the thumbnail here. You could close your eyes and see the same thing that these files show you, which is just nothing. Darkness. I always said if they do release it, it'll probably be heavily redacted. I didn't even expect it to be this extreme. This is crazy. They don't even let like a couple of like rogue words fly, like random like the or and. It's all just blacked out emptiness. They released hundreds of pages of it's unfucking believable. Yeah, we've really got these evil pedophiles on the ropes now that the most transparent administration in history has dropped these puppies fresh on our laps here. Look at this.
Lol.
Wow. We've really got them now. We've got them cornered. Surely they'll be held accountable with this out there.
Talk about blacking out. I don't know if I can get a close-up of my phone. This is one of the documents that the Justice Department released. It's 100 pages.
Right.
This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see. It's all black. It's just 100 pages of redaction. That's the transparency we're getting.
Right, and I'll point to...
This is like the LaCroix of Epstein files, where it's the idea of the files themselves, not actually providing anything. Imagine scrolling through those 100 pages of just pure void emptiness. What the fuck? That is absurd. Now, it's not just these empty files that they plopped out there in the open. They did also provide a lot of new photos that show people like Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell, as well as like Chris Tucker, even Michael Jackson. Like, there were a large amount of photos that weren't previously public. And in those photos, there are individuals whose identity is redacted. They have like the giant black square over them. They've been censored. And I thought that was supposed to be for victims, you know? But according to what I read, this actually comes from Fox News. They said the Justice Department redacted the names and identifiers of victims. Fox News Digital has learned that the same redaction standards were applied to politically exposed individuals and government officials. What the fuck? Why would those same redaction standards be applied to politically exposed individuals?
Lol.
That's like the most important individual to be exposed in these Epstein files. Why would that under any circumstances be suitable for redaction? That's fucking crazy. So like they can just be censored out like it's fucking Super Smash Bros. Melee when you're about to unlock a new fighter through like a challenge approaching you. Why? That makes no sense. That should just be reserved solely for the victims here. I don't understand, if this is true, why they would be able to redact that kind of information on politically exposed individuals. And it doesn't apply to all politically exposed individuals, clearly, because Bill Clinton is completely unmasked here. He is just like raw out in the open in these photos, as well as others, like I mentioned. So it was, I guess there was exceptions for some of them. I'm not exactly sure how the ruling all worked. There's like a bunch of like nuance to it here. It's very confusing, but under no circumstances should there have been exceptions for these politically exposed individuals in the Epstein files and photos. That's really peculiar, and that really seems extremely corrupt because they should all be going to jail. Like, take, for example, Bill fucking Clinton here. This guy's like the Ronald McDonald to Jeffrey Epstein's empire of child sex trafficking. This guy is in so many photos with so much evidence to support how deeply involved he was as a client. We now have even more photos of him, and still nothing has happened to Bill Clinton. The only person with more photographs with Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell is Trump. And speaking of Trump, he is doing everything in his power to ensure Maxwell has the easiest time imaginable. Maxwell, the only person, by the way, who has ever faced even an iota of punishment for all of the innumerable, unthinkable, heinous crimes with Jeffrey Epstein's empire of child sex trafficking, the only person who faced even the slightest punishment, he has now ensured went from a prison to a fucking summer camp where she gets to, like, pet training service dogs now, and she lives luxuriously there. It's pretty weird. I think it's very odd that these files are so heavily redacted. I think there's also a very good chance that the photos released were probably not the entire kit and caboodle. I would bet there were probably even more photos that we don't have access to and have probably been completely burned and buried somewhere that just don't exist anymore.
Honestly, I
That
wouldn't
would
be
my guess.
surprised.
And if you're wondering about any new photos of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein or Maxwell, there's not really anything new there, but he does appear in a few of these photos they released, like this one where there is a framed photo of him with Jeffrey Epstein and Melania in between, as well as this right here where you can see two different pictures of Trump in the drawer. So overall, no like new photos of them together, but there is a framed one and a couple in that drawer, so he did like to keep photos of Trump around of the two when they hung out. And it's hard to say if there's any new evidence there because there isn't anything new in the files themselves since it's all fucking redacted. So the only thing like new here are some of these photographs, which also are redacted. And while I thought it was supposed to be reserved solely for victims,
You know, if we can find the exact program that the government uses to redact those files, then we could probably unredact it.
it seems as though there is the potential that it was also used to hide politically exposed individuals.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's 100% confirmed or not.
It's gotta
There
be
is
a
now lot
massive
people
leak of a
saying that this
program
doesn't
to
comply with what
have
was
it leaked.
actually sought, and they are looking to pursue further action because they redacted so much that they weren't allowed to. So I guess we'll see how it all shakes out, but holy shit, I still cannot believe what they released here in the state that it is. I can't believe they thought this would go over well with literally anybody to release hundreds of pages of pure redactions. That's unbelievable. But as far as the new photos go, I don't see how that's not actionable to at least try and investigate further. In particular, someone like Bill Clinton, who's here constantly. This guy's popping up like it's Where's Waldo, but he's really easy to spot. I don't understand how if all this information has existed for this long, and even in this administration that was denying its existence, why don't they do anything about what they have? I feel like it should warrant, at the very least, some further poking around to see what the fuck was happening here. Like, it just makes no sense to me until you start to realize that all of these people in power, this administration, the previous administration too, who also didn't release anything of substance when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein case, still nobody's been punished. It's very clear when you realize that there are people on both sides of the political aisle here that are implicated, and should someone like Bill Clinton fall, there's a chance that many others do too that they don't want being exposed. I think that's probably why there's been so little action being taken. It's just so fucking sickening how blatant this corruption is just out in the open. And now with these documents they released, if you can even call them that, it's even more clear as day just how deep this rot goes. It's fucking absurd. Anyway, I had to yap about this a bit. That's it. So yeah.
It is fucking disgusting with the way the state that they released it in.
Hello, everyone.
There we go.
Hello, everyone. This is your daily dose of internet. This guy ordered some DoorDash, but his delivery driver got stuck in some fresh, wet cement.
I am so sorry. That's crazy. Yo. Hold up. Hold on, let me.
Oh no. What the fuck?
This cat was having the best sleep of its life.
Oh, no. It's so cute.
Simba.
That's so cute.
Here's a good girl.
I am. Oh no.
Like, I'm so like, y'all. My door's open.
It was so cold in Chicago a few days ago that people at this NFL game saw that their sodas were turning into slushies.
Voice of your Chicago Bears. Get ready to Bear Town.
Oh my god, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Slushy soda, let's go.
They decided to put a jet engine on a semi-truck.
Oh no. That can only go so well. Oh yeah, I know those. That's jet. I know that kind of drag racing. It's jet racing kind of thing.
He found a way to work smarter instead of harder.
Nice.
This might be the only dog in the world that doesn't care about balls.
Aww. I had to have it with my. Oh no. I had to have it with my child dog. So basically dogs have very limited vision. The way the woman threw it was basically hitting the dog's blind spot.
Here's a good cow.
I am. Oh wow. Oh, the dog had a good scratch. The dog has a good scratch.
This is how kayakers take on giant waves. It really doesn't get any closer than this.
Yeah, no kayaking for me.
Here's a good cow.
Oh god. Oh, holy shit.
Her parents were excited to tell her that Santa arrived, but she just wanted to go back to bed.
Look at that! Oh my god! Santa Claus was here! Holy Santa came. Do you see this? Look! Look, where are you going? Wow! Girl. Merry Christmas.
This has to be one of the biggest cats I've ever seen.
Oh, that's a big kitty. That's a big kitty.
So apparently spiders love chasing laser pointers too.
Oh wow. That's an idea. Because why do you think it's a fly instead of like...
There's a road in Seattle where, for some reason, people keep getting into crashes there.
What the fuck? Oh, that's...
A few years ago, this big...
Oh, so there's 3 lanes for that tunnel. It suddenly cuts off into 2 lanes without any warning. And that's why people can crash in it. This is a systematic failure of the city.
Big earthquake was caught on camera in Utah.
Here's a good cow.
Imagine looking outside of your window and seeing this.
Stop it. You'll bloody break the thing. Oh god.
I'm not sure why, but this is so satisfying to watch.
Oh, that's so cool.
This ram wanted to start a fight with his deer.
Oh no, that's not good. Oh no, the ram's running away. Ram's running away.
These people were arguing on the train, so the rest of the passengers started singing to drown them out.
I don't know why they would keep silent.
This guy on a motorcycle saw that a fire started and stopped to help out.
Hey, anybody over there? Fire department's here. I hear them. I hear them. Oh my god. It's about to collapse. Hey, it's about to collapse!
Because he was wearing his motorcycle protective gear, he could get close to the fire without getting burned.
Yeah. Oh my.
Ah.
Huh?
There's two sides. Wait, what just happened?
What the heck? No way!
What? You can? No way. No way. There's a two-sided waffle maker. I need to get that. Holy shit. Oh. Oh. I felt that. Ow. Ow.
I guess it can get so
Aw.
cold that sand on beaches can freeze too.
Oh, that's cool. Aww. Oh no. Oh no, that's not. Huh?
I'm not sure why they kept cutting this tree when it was obvious that it was going to fall on the house.
I don't know if that's such a...
Oh no. You guys said no. I have
They
it.
had
I
a
have it.
competition to see if a scythe was faster than a weed whacker.
No way! No fucking way! A scythe is actually faster than Weed Whacker? Huh? Okay, where can I get a scythe? Where can I get a scythe from? The cops go to me. Why the fuck do you have a scythe? I used to whack weed.
This fire was right next to a lake and created a water spout in the process.
Wow.
The water spout from the fire.
Water spouts, water spouts.
What was that?
This guy showed up to a Christmas parade in a tricked out porta potty.
Papa Willie! Papa Willie! Holy!
That's fucking cool.
This mama raccoon did everything she could to save her baby.
Aww. Aww.
That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys
Okay.
again very, very soon. Later.
Okay, that's... Oh, that's cute. Yeah, let me see if we can find anything else. Look. Okay.
So, you turn on your computer, ready to work.
Okay. There we go.
So, you turn on your computer, ready to work, and you're immediately hit with notifications asking you to sign into a Microsoft account, reminders about cloud storage you don't want, and suggestions to upgrade to the latest AI features you never asked for. Sound familiar? This is the reality for hundreds of millions of Windows users today. But here's what's shocking. They're choosing to stay away from Windows 11 in unprecedented numbers. We're talking about 500 million users who are compatible with Windows 11 but are flat out refusing to upgrade. Security experts are calling this the largest security event in the history of consumer computing. So what went so catastrophically wrong? Why are users willing to risk their digital security rather than upgrade to Microsoft's latest operating system? Windows 11 launched in October 2021, giving it over 4 years to gain adoption. Yet, as of late 2025, it peaked at just 55% market share in October, before declining to 52% by December. That's a backwards movement for a flagship product that should be growing. According to Dell's Chief Operating Officer, Jeff Clark, about a third of the world's estimated 1.5 billion PCs are simply refusing to move to Windows 11. This isn't a typical adoption curve. This is mass rejection. For context, when Windows 7 reached end of life in 2020, Windows 10 already commanded over 70% market share well before that deadline. Users trusted it and migrated willingly. The contrast with Windows 11 couldn't be more dramatic. We're witnessing something unprecedented, users choosing security risks over Microsoft's latest product. To understand why Windows 11 is failing so spectacularly, we need to look at Microsoft's transformation under CEO Satya Nadella, who took over in 2014. Nadella fundamentally changed Microsoft's business model. Rather than selling Windows licenses as a one-time purchase, he refocused the entire company around cloud services and recurring revenue, Azure, Office 365, enterprise subscriptions. The strategy worked brilliantly for shareholders. In fiscal year 2025, Microsoft Cloud revenue reached $169 billion, representing 23% growth year over year. But this success came with a hidden cost. Home users became essentially irrelevant to Microsoft's bottom line. When your primary revenue comes from enterprise cloud contracts worth millions per year, why care about individual Windows licenses worth maybe $100 to $200 once? This explains everything about Windows 11's design philosophy. Every forced online account, every cloud storage nudge, every AI feature integration serves one purpose: funneling users toward Microsoft's subscription
Here's a good
ecosystem
girl.
where the real money flows. Windows 11 isn't designed for the person using it. It's designed to extract maximum value from that person for Microsoft's shareholders, and users can feel it. Every interaction with the OS reinforces that you're not the customer anymore. You're the product being harvested for data and steered toward recurring payments. Nothing crystallizes Windows 11's failure more than Windows Recall, which security experts and media outlets described as a complete disaster. Recall was announced as an AI-powered feature that would screenshot everything you do on your computer, store it locally, and let you search your entire digital history using natural language. Microsoft pitched it as convenient productivity. Security researchers immediately tore it apart. The initial implementation stored all screenshots in a plain text database, meaning any malware on your system could access your entire digital life. Passwords, banking details, private communications, medical records, everything. Windows Central called it a nightmare scenario for Microsoft, while others labeled it a potential security nightmare and a major breach of privacy and security. The backlash was so severe that Microsoft had to delay the feature entirely and rebuild it with proper encryption, but the damage was done. Users saw clearly what Microsoft considered acceptable: constant surveillance of their computer usage, stored in an easily accessible format,
That's not
all in
acceptable.
the name of AI features nobody requested. And Recall isn't isolated. Windows 11 collects extensive telemetry data even on the lowest privacy settings. Your app usage, hardware details, and system behavior are constantly transmitted to Microsoft servers. For most users, there's no genuine opt-out. Only expensive enterprise editions offer real control over your own data. Then there's the TPM 2.0 requirement, a security chip that Windows 11 demands. Microsoft claims it's for security.
Here's a good
created a
girl.
bizarre situation where 500 million perfectly functional computers are deemed incompatible with Windows 11 due to an administrative decision about chip requirements. The cruel irony? Microsoft created these strict hardware requirements supposedly for security, but those restrictions are now forcing millions of users to stay on an unsupported operating system, creating what experts call the largest security vulnerability event in consumer computing history. OneDrive, Microsoft's cloud storage service, gets pushed relentlessly. The OS constantly prompts you to enable it, sometimes automatically uploading your files without clear permission. Microsoft admitted that OneDrive syncing immeasurably slows down computers, yet continues forcing it aggressively. Following a $13 billion investment in OpenAI, Microsoft crammed Copilot AI features throughout Windows 11. The absurdity peaked when Microsoft itself warned users not to rely on Copilot in Excel for tasks requiring accuracy because the AI hallucinates too often. Yet it's being pushed as a core Windows feature. These aren't minor annoyances. They represent a fundamental shift in the relationship between user and operating system. Windows 11 doesn't serve you. It serves Microsoft's business objectives. Every improvement reduces your control, increases data collection, and pushes you towards subscription services. Even longtime Windows advocates are switching to macOS despite the premium prices. Most tellingly, millions of users plan to continue using Windows 10 past its end-of-life date, despite losing security support. This is unprecedented.
Or even app support
when
as
people
well.
willingly choose security vulnerabilities over your latest product, you've failed catastrophically. This isn't about features or performance anymore, it's about trust. Users fundamentally don't trust that Windows 11 works in their interest. They see it clearly for what it is, a data harvesting, cloud funneling, control stripping platform designed to maximize Microsoft's revenue regardless of user experience. And when trust breaks this completely, no amount of AI features or security theater can rebuild it. So what happens next? Is Windows 11 doomed to fail? Microsoft's stock price proves their current strategy works brilliantly for shareholders. Why change when cloud revenue grows 23% year over year? User dissatisfaction simply doesn't threaten their bottom line when enterprise clients generate the real money. But eventually, a choice must be made. And if Windows 11 continues down this path, Microsoft might discover that even their market dominance has limits when users finally say, enough. The collapse of Windows 11 isn't about technical failure. The operating system functions. It's about a spectacular failure to understand what users actually want from their computers. If you enjoyed this video, then the next video on the screen would definitely be worth your time. Subscribe, like, and comment down below your thoughts on this video. See you in the next one.
I'll say exactly that Microsoft pretty much fucked up. Pretty much fucked up entirely.
We're going to talk about an...
And even though Windows is the dominant OS for the compatibility overall, they're gonna soon find out that over the years, there's probably decades down the line, or maybe damn near 100 years down the line, that users will switch to Linux. And this is gonna start with us. If we have kids in the future, we gotta enforce Linux, not Windows whatsoever. To the point, if schools demand Windows, threaten them with a lawsuit. Yeah, Linux or Mac OS. Here's the thing, even Mac OS, even Apple is stretching it a bit by implementing and basically enforcing their own AI. You know, Windows is way too insecure for. Here's the thing, Windows is fundamentally insecure since MS-DOS. They never fixed this. There are here's the thing. There are still kernel level vulnerabilities that still exist since MS-DOS. And there's Windows has patched out most of the methods. There's still new methods that's still utilizing the MS-DOS and the backwards compatibility of Windows. So using like Windows 7 exploits via the backwards compatibility feature for Windows. So yeah. All right.
Absolutely terrible topic, which has changed a lot with the eyes, and through something I saw in my monitoring which is funny, which is apparently not new, but there is an article that we...
Here's
a good cow.
Is this auto-dubbed? Settings. Oh. Yeah, this is auto-dubbed.
Friend was
taking a photo.
All right, there we go.
Friend was taking a photo of me and slipped mid-shot. That's awesome. It looks like you've killed him. Movies that can only be
Here's a
watched
good
on a
cow.
2004 Chevrolet
Red.
Tahoe's built-in DVD player.
Be careful, Red. You're using it too much. It's no longer working on me. It's no longer working on me, Red. You used it too much. You got carried away. You desensitized me. Thank you.
I just love Latinas, Sonic.
Yes, Latinas are good. I'd rather like suggest them to like do it like every 5 minutes instead of like every second. Just give me enough time to forget that it happened, just for me to say to do it again.
Pacifier. This and Over the Hedge. And maybe Alvin and the Chipmunks 2007.
Yeah.
If all humans suddenly lost the ability to lie, what industry would collapse
I see.
first? The government. the
Oh,
lying
10 minutes.
industry. Thank you, Jacob.
Maybe?
At a
I'm not sure.
Beatles concert in 1964, 2 members of the audience only have eyes for each other. Okay, but what mind-shattering horrors is that other lady witnessing? The Beatles. John just took his shirt off. What did I do to deserve this? Thinking about being a MacBook. iPads with imposter syndrome. Getting. You gonna take your gay little screenshot of that message and run to Twitter with it? Yup. 10 out of 10 bleed out spot. The men yearn for periods. It's either this or one of those big fields of snow. My child will not be allowed to use ChatGPT. He will be smarter and stronger than the other children, and he will kill them easily. That is what she
the
said in
fuck?
Dune 2. I just learned that my grandma apparently willed me a small parcel of undeveloped land in the West Virginia wilderness. So, yeah. Sick. Gender neutral
What should I
language
do
is
for the
great
hair,
until
though?
Am I a Good Girl turns into Am I a Good Person? And now I'm in an existential crisis. Have I been a good boy? Have I been a good girl? Have I been a good person? My dad told me he was divorcing my mom while I was playing Lego Indiana Jones. But look at the cinematography. This is wild. I saw this one when it popped off. Ah, the different aliens of sci-fi. Star Trek, human with an unusual face tattoo, called something like the Kuthgrathi. Star Wars, bug that's vaguely Asian, called Glumshang, awful. Doctor Who, household appliance that is a black hole with a Lancashire accent called the Calaxigorb of Char. Yes. 100% apple. This apple pie contains only apples. Obsessed with this video because he solved every issue he came across by just adding more apple. He tried making dough out of apple dust and water, but water wasn't thick enough, so he used apple juice. He used apple dust to stop the dough from sticking to the pan. I'm in tears. Impressive.
Babies are born worshipping unknown gods. Dwarf Fortress bug report number 13172.
What the f***? My best friend swears he's not bisexual, but he spent 20 minutes showing me thirst traps of men last night, at one point saying, their bodies are just like, holy shit, they're so hot. Like, in a bro way. God sends his lost lambs to me, but I cannot guide the willfully blind. That quote goes way too hard. Oh, poor baby. Do you need the robot to make you pictures? Yeah? Do you need the Bobot to write you essay too? Yeah? You can't do it? You're a moron. Do you need ChatGPT to f your wife? They brain rotted you. Number 15, 21, 360. I don't know if that's a meme. 420, of course. 666, 1738, 69. 80085 boobs. We got Leet 887 34 E and then 67. Really? Is it really that much more stupid? At least some of the numbers have reasons, right? Like 69, like that, you know, that means something. It ain't just two numbers that sound funny. They don't even really sound funny. They're just numbers. My dad admitted he doesn't understand the concept of a live stream of a person playing a video game. He thought I was on a 6-hour personal phone call with German 985. Oh, German can hear you. He just pretends not to. I'm trying to open a cat cafe, but I need investors. Here's the plan. The first floor will have normal cats, but then as you go up, each floor has more and more dangerous cats. We go up to bobcats, tigers, go up to lions, and at the top is just me in a fursuit with a machete. Good luck. The difference in time between now and 𝙂𝙚 has cheeseburger is the same between 𝙂𝙚 has cheeseburger and the Berlin Wall falling. 𝙂𝙚 has cheeseburger? That's me. I thought maids were for f***ing. You're telling me I have to do chores? I'm not going crazy, right?
Ah, that neck crack. My neck cracked so good, I felt it in my hands.
My name is Brady Penfield. I am 22 years old and a lifelong Wisconsinite. I come from a family, that's just Mr. Beast. Hey, you're not fooling anyone. I'll never be a real woman. Long ass hair, ear piercings. Damn, Shoddy look fine AF. She's probably not into girls though. Gotta get strong enough to defeat the horse. The thing that's always bothered me about the whole puppy girl thing is how they'll be like, wah, I want kibble. Like, hey dumbass, dogs don't even want kibble. They want the spaghetti. You're not even good at beating a dog. Every apex predator looking at a capybara chilling. Nah, I can't eat this dude. That'd be f***ed up. Physically, yes, I could eat a capybara, but emotionally, imagine the toll. It must feel so good to be an evil guy and sit at a circle table with other evil guys to discuss evil shit. Like, imagine saying some evil ass shit here. That would feel pretty awesome. Why this make my heart flutter? OMG. You text back so fast. You're so eager. I'm about to go to sleep and I'm sitting in bed. We aren't f***ing 17. I'm not playing hard to get. Me to my AI-enabled smart fridge in 2038. Do we have any milk left in my fridge? Wow, now that's a question worth exploring. By asking me something like that, you've proven that you're not thinking in ordinary ways. You're dialed into what's really vital about food. Let's dive in. Or you could just tell me how much milk I have. This is how oh, hey Hunter. This is how I'm finding out an old friend from high school became mayor of New York. Zoran Mamdani. Man, that guy's pretty cool. Coca-Cola created a bottle that only opens in pairs to encourage interaction. Throttle. What is your most controversial video game hot take? The pursuit of photorealism in games is a fruitless endeavor that only results in bloated file sizes that take too much space. Well, that's not a photorealism problem. That is a compression problem. That is an optimization problem. Doom Guy is a bottom. I mean, probably. Me. Screenshots
Here's
things my girlfriend said to me so I can read it again later. Me. Yeah, I'm not gay. Dude, no offense. I don't want to go sound like a SJW or anything, but if you have a girlfriend, you're straight. That's just how it works. I'm a girl. What the f***? Tough f***ing luck losing my cart and my pack of camels in the same 48-hour period. I suspect that it may have been ghouls. Are you a medieval Silk Road merchant? Everyone has goth sex hormones. It came free with your f***ing existence. Both, I meant. Both. Goth sex hormones. Goth sex hormones. How I imagined 2025 as a kid. How it turned out. Babies should have food.
Yo. Goth sex hormones. Okay, that sounds fire. Well, you're a mommy goth favorite. What's your special ability? My special ability is yeah. My special ability is goth sex hormones. That's fucking gold. That's fucking gold.
Food. Corporations need money! Somebody sent me this trying to be transphobic, but I honestly just think it's funny as fuck. Testicular injuries in women's sports. It's pretty tame from the 1900s to 1980. Then 2000, we start seeing a little bit of a rise, but then in 2020, sometime in the 2020s, a lot of testicular injuries in women's sports. They just weren't getting hit too often back then. It's so to the ancient world didn't have zero. If you went to buy an apple and the guy ran out and you were like, how many apples do you have left? He'd be like, dunno, can't say. Not one anymore, that's for sure. I've been on gel that makes you orange for 3 years, but I still grayscale mode in public. Huh? My spectral decomposition is too close to homogeneous. Everyone can see it. I have accepted my fate as an orange cell desaturatoid. What? Luck chromatic primaroids such as yourself could never understand. I simply will never be orange. I think whatever website you're getting this jargon from is hurting you.
Exactly.
Do you think Karl Marx was a Marxist
I
because of his
guarantee it
name, or
might
was
be
it just
just
a
Twitter.
coincidence? I need to watch this. I've seen clips, and they all kill me. I am 5, and I hate everything. Aphantasia, 5 degrees. 1. When you close your eyes, you see an apple. 2. You see an apple, but it isn't sharp with highlights. 3. You see an apple, but it looks like a solid color. 4. You see an apple, but it looks gray or black. 5. You can't see anything. You only know you are seeing an apple. When I close my eyes and try to picture an apple, I see a rapid montage of everything that could ever exist. Someone on the Motorola forums was having the same problem with the camera I've been having, but I just have to share the image they posted to demonstrate the issue. It's the funniest I've ever seen in my life, dude. This goes hard. I don't know what you're talking about, man. This... Who is that? Is that grandpa, grandma? I'm baffled. I don't know how to respond to this. I can't believe you're actually American. Like, actually, not as a bit. Like, from Nebraska, unironically.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? Someone should draw this with Superman and crypto. Okay. Yep, that's what they meant. That's exactly what they meant. Attention, all white women. I have a business proposal. 1. You call me a slur on video. 2. I post the video and say, let's make her famous. 3. Chuds come to your defense and donate thousands of dollars. 4. I take a 30% cut. You take the rest and have a promising future as a grifter. Sounds like a really smart idea. I'm a shark femby, fem-enby, and I like shark girls, enbies. And I'm an orca whale femboy. And I'm like, just a regular dude or something. Hey, how's it going? When I'm watching an early 2010s game review and the YouTuber starts arguing with his evil alter ego. Whew, that's some cinema. The power, who the hell is that? First off, sorry, Jesus. The power of a bowl of rice mixed with some f***ing bullshit cannot be overstated. That is true, and now I want some damn fried rice. Don't do this. Okay, don't point your knee. Don't have your toes out. Don't have your fingers out. Don't have your arm extended like that. Don't have your ass out. Just do this. Check mark. Needlessly adding red circles will ruin your art. I see. Bonus tip, add a check under all your art so people think you did it right. Give your players a disintegration gun. What it actually does is shoot people into the future. In the final session, all the people they shot it with blink into existence around them at once. OP, please change your URL. Source, probably bad RPG ideas. Skibbity Toilet creator Boom has allegedly lost creative control over the series to Michael Bay's company, Invisible Narratives. Content creator Elite Blue Guy claims the company has also taken over his YouTube channel that uploads new episodes. Don't sell your shit to a company that offers you a lot of money. Unless you got a really, really, really good lawyer. All right, you wake up to this. What is the first thing you do? Sniffing my boyfriend's package. Okay, Patrick, you know, I'm not gonna judge. What's stopping you from, listen, I am so sleepy and like broke. I have a suggestion. It's entirely unrelated, but like, I have it. Oh, I suggest Vor. I'm alright, that's thanks, but no thanks. You will never be a woman. My boobs are bigger than yours. You will never be a man. Did you just switch sides? Yes, so what? Cry about it. I didn't know Mr. House was an ally. That's great. This is your machine learning system? Yup, you pour the data into this big old pile of linear algebra, then collect the answers on the other side. What if the answers are wrong? Just stir the pile until they start looking right. This comic is from 2017 and it remains as relevant as ever. That's crazy. Bottoming is just tanking IRL, to be honest. Wiggles ass. I'm pulling aggro. You just worked a 15-hour shift and you come home to this.
part of me is just taking high right now. Damn it, not a good tank. I'm a switch.
I'm now
I just that came out of left field. That was fucking funny. Holy shit.
What do you do? Oh my god, I can't even say. Boy, I can't even say on YouTube. I don't think. Tear that shit up. Tell my wife thank you. Tear her shit up. Go to sleep happy. Yeah, there you go. That you summed it up pretty nicely. It's 2050, and a teen girl is torrenting a .tar.gz file of all the consciousnesses of all the tech bros who have uploaded themselves into the cloud in a bid for immortality and modding them into The Sims 4. I love the idea that The Sims 4 is still like the Sims game people are playing in like 30 years. That's awesome. Bro, what the kind of question is this? Question 12 of 24. I use tricky plans and schemes to get my way. Evildoer. Yes, strongly agree. The two types of Wikipedia editor. My pronouns are he because I'll never be him. You can just do things. Signal integrity is a myth propagated by wire companies. Question: will Breaking Bad fans like it? A, considering that the main character is a woman, no. Breaking Bad is awesome, but there are a lot of Breaking Bad fans that I don't think they were actually watching the show. YouTubers be like, I have my whole career ahead of me. No, you don't. The allegations Google Doc is coming. I saw YouTubers in the caption, saw the foggy forest, and I thought this was about to be a little bit of a throwback to our old boy, Logan Paul. You know, the forest when he had a lot of fun, very respectful, good fun in Japan. The 97-year-old NYC diner that still serves their Coke the old-fashioned way has been shut down after owners were arrested for allegedly laundering over $2.3 million. Wait, okay, hold on. That actually kind of doesn't surprise me too. If you watch that video, you can hear a guy in the background. He's like, hey, let me get a pound or something like that. He's like asking for something, and the guy making the Coke the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of filming right now, though.
As if he's like, shut the f up. Don't talk about the operation while I'm making my Coke the old-fashioned way. I've been doing this for 97 years. Not anymore, though, because we're being arrested for laundering over $2.3 million. Allegedly.
Yep.
This isn't fake. This is a real fucking advert from the White House. Everything is onion. A fresh start for America, from the Golden Arches to the Golden Age. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is just official government policy now. Accelerate to the nearest McDonald's. I seek fries and seek,
Okay, that was something. Boop. I boop you back. Ooh, once Cartoon Channels got hacked. Alright, let's do this one.
Children.
Oh yeah, the era of
Media is getting
the era of television when hijacking was common. Hijacking of broadcast media was common.
hacked more than ever. From plushies secretly recording your kids to Sesame Street getting hacked and uploading corn, and baby TV getting max headroomed and playing Russian propaganda, they killed JJ the jet plane, for Christ's sakes. Today we'll be discussing the fascinating and disturbing history of children's media hacks and hoaxes, the Sesame Street hacks. Some of you may or may not know that Sesame Street's YouTube channel was hacked back in the early days of YouTube, and the result of this was hundreds of children being shown adult content that may or may not have featured naked people. On October 16th of 2011, the official Sesame Street YouTube channel experienced a bit of an unexpected outage. All of the videos were suddenly deleted from the channel and were replaced with inappropriate adult corn videos. This content being uploaded to what was essentially like the millennial version of CoComelon at the time. As kids around the world were clicking on these videos, the would-be hacker identifies themselves in the channel's description about me section. The channel's description and profile picture also changed and now read, "Who doesn't love porn, kids? Right? Everyone loves it. I'm Mr. 𝙂𝙚𝙧𝙖𝙀, and my partner, Mr. 𝙂𝙀𝙚�91, are here to bring you many nice content. Please don't let Sesame Street get this account back, kids. Please, let me and Mr. 𝙂𝙀𝙚�91 have it, and we gonna make all the America happy." Considering this was the first hack of its nature and its disturbing premise, well, it made world news. Numerous media outlets covered this incident, and YouTube would take swift action. Within 20 minutes, the hacker was ousted, the porno videos deleted, and the old content was restored back to the account, and it was given back to Sesame Street. When Sesame Street finally got back to the control board, they updated their channel page with a disclaimer apologizing for the bizarre circumstance. Our channel was temporarily compromised, but we have since restored our original lineup of the best classic Sesame Street video clips featuring Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Grover, Oscar the Grouch, and the rest of the fuzzy, feathered, and goofy-eyed friends you remember from childhood. While everyone was relieved that things had been handled so quickly, the question of who exactly performed the hack needed to be reconciled with. And naturally, the prime suspect was the Romanian-based YouTuber Mr. 𝙂𝙀𝙧𝙖𝙀. After all, the hacker had claimed to have been this person in the note posted to the Sesame Street
this might have been
channel
a frame.
Bizarrely enough, Mr. 𝙂𝙀𝙧𝙀𝙀 operated a rather successful, uncommentated video game playthrough channel at the time, and this individual would address the hacking allegation on this channel not long after the situation had transpired, and his address seemed to suggest that this may have been some conspiracy to frame him. Mr. Ed's response came in a video titled, "I did not hack Sesame Street," and that video took the form of a still image with this text on it. "I did not hack Sesame Street. I am an honest YouTuber. I work hard to make quality gameplay videos, and most important, I respect the community guidelines." Now, some of you are probably thinking, sure, buddy. But let's actually think about this logically for a second. Mr. Ed's job was making YouTube videos. Why the fuck would he incriminate himself or expose himself as the hacker if he did this? That's generally not how things work. Usually you act anonymously and, try to avoid credit for your heinous acts. It seems like admitting to this would be a one-way ticket to him getting his YouTube channel banned and potentially sued by Sesame Street. Now, in the past, I actually have reached out to Mr. Ed about this case, and after corresponding with him, I do genuinely believe that somebody framed him to try to get his YouTube channel banned. Like some rival Let's Player or somebody who just had an interaction with him and was pissed off. In our email conversation, he maintained his innocence.
That's what's like
adding
the
the whole
case.
thing had been a massive headache and nightmare to deal with. Ed clarified that he had never even been contacted by Sesame Street or YouTube regarding the hack, seemingly indicating that these entities knew that he wasn't the person behind it. And considering the fact that Ed is still around on YouTube to this day, it's unlikely that he was the culprit, despite the Sesame Street hackers saying so. As for Mr. 𝙂𝙀𝙀𝙚�91, the other person mentioned in the hack, there isn't much information available about this individual. Archives of their channel show that they too were from Romania and uploaded clips from music videos. But other than that, there's really no information known about this person. I've never found any public statement issued by them regarding the hack. And again, I just gotta say, I think it would be unusual for this person to have been the hacker, because why would they self-report themselves? The true identity of the Sesame Street hacker remains a mystery to this day, and the incident remains one of the most remarkable and disturbing hacks in YouTube history altogether. Funnily enough, this isn't the only time an account related to Sesame Street has been compromised and posted inappropriate content for children. On July 13th of 2025, the official Elmo Twitter got hacked. As you might expect, this resulted in some unsavory things being posted that don't exactly line with the values of the character. This included Elmo calling for the death of all Jews and telling Donald Trump to release the Epstein files. One detail that I haven't seen get brought up a lot is the fact that while this was going on, whoever was running the account began mocking people in the replies, calling them slurs. In the end, the offending tweets were taken down, and a statement was posted on July 15th that read, "On Sunday, Elmo's X account was briefly hacked by an outside party. In spite of the security measures in place, we strongly condemn the abhorrent anti-Semitic and racist content, and the account has since been secured. These posts in no way reflect the values of Sesame Workshop or Sesame Street, and no one at the organization was involved." Man, I don't know. I for real think the Count did it. He just seems like he would do some shit like this. To this day, the individual behind the hack still remains a mystery, and at this point, I would not be surprised if there is a coming trilogy to the Sesame Street getting hacked saga. The Cloud Pets Toys hack.
Exterminate! Annihilate! Destroy! Exterminate! Annihilate! Destroy!
One of the most disturbing toy hacks came in a pretty cuddly package. These Cloud Pet toys recorded children, and the information gathered from the little tykes was held for ransom, with the perpetrators demanding Bitcoin or they would release kid info. These are Cloud Pets. Launched in 2015 by California-based tech company Spiral Toys, they're stuffed animals with Bluetooth speakers and microphones embedded inside of them. What could possibly fucking go wrong? The Cloud Pet gimmick was simple. Kids and parents could record voice clips, and then using the free companion app or the toy itself, they could send these messages and voice clips back and forth to each other. At the time, it was an innocuous novelty enjoyed by families wanting to connect in a new way, but privacy concerns would soon cause the product to go down in infamy. On December 21st, a Cloud Pet toy was found next to the dead body of a mother in her Kentucky home. Police say a bloodied knife was nearby, and the toy was playing a clip of a child laughing repeatedly. Okay, I'm kidding. What actually happened was, well, the Cloud Pet's child-submitted voices were seized by anonymous hackers. This security breach was discovered by renowned Australian web security consultant Troy Hunt. Troy reveals that he had been contacted by an associate regarding a severe data breach involving the Cloud Pets toys. It's all very technical, but to summarize, sensitive account info such as username, email addresses, passwords, voice recordings were being kept in an unsecure server that was easily accessed by the public. This was obviously a big problem considering the nature of the product. Extremely private conversations between parents and children could be accessed by malicious parties. Let's just say the 7-year-old kid out there that secretly recorded the word shit into his Cloud Pet was sweating bullets. Troy noted that the Cloud Pet database had been taken and was being held for ransom. You can see here that a hacker is literally threatening to release the Cloud Pet's database of information at a 1 Bitcoin ransom, which is quite humble if we're being honest. What's worse is that the company behind Cloud Pets had been contacted about their compromised database on several occasions, but they hadn't taken any form of meaningful action to address the issue. They said, who cares if intimate recordings of child voices were out there? Fuck them kids, right?
I wanted it just to tell her, good night, Natalie, Grandma loves you, but it's much more than that. It's much more complex.
Earlier this year, more than 500,000 people with this toy had personal information leaked, including email addresses and passwords.
A lot of these toys
so if I buy that kind of stuff,
to hack them using a wireless device close to you, or
I gotta save this.
Police recommend if you do have a toy like this, turn it off and leave it in a drawer or...
Okay, Alright, chat. I'm gonna say that I am happy with the progress we made so far.
Here's a good cow.
I'm good. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress we made for this, and I guess for next art stream that's tomorrow, we're gonna be focusing on shadows and see how far we get with that. That being said, pretty much what I'm gonna do is just probably relax the rest of the night, make some dinner, and yeah, that's about it. And that being said, chat, I gotta get going now, please. Bye bye, matinee.
Here's a good cow.